In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace a radiator fan cooling blade on a Nissan NV2500. It is located in the engine bay area. Once you've raised and supported the vehicle safely, at the very front of the vehicle, you're going to have a plastic shield. You need to remove this shield. The shield is held on by 7 12mm bolts. There's one on the side, one in the front corner, right underneath your front bumper. Then you have one right underneath the front bumper on the driver's side. And then you have your last one on the side. You want to hold up on your panel because your panel is going to want to come down. And put your panel off to the side. Your fan shroud comes in two pieces. There's an inner and an outer. You need to remove this inner piece. The inner piece is clipped in at the bottom. Just push up on the tab, slide out to your left. On the side of your inner fan shroud, you have a tab here, just like the one on the bottom. You want to push it in, pull straight out. Right after you remove this clip, right above it, there's another one. You want to push the clip in and pull straight down on the shroud. Do the same for the other side. Now you can remove your inner fan shroud. Your outer fan shroud at the very bottom has an 8mm bolt in the middle. You need to remove that. On the passenger side, on the lower part of your fan shroud, you're going to have a rubber hose that connects to it. You need to remove that rubber hose just by pulling it away. Then you have one right in the middle on the bottom. Same thing, pull it away. Then on the driver's side of the fan shroud, you have another hose, just pull it away. On the lower side of your fan shroud, you're going to have one 8mm bolt that bolts your fan shroud to your radiator. You need to remove that. And do the same on the other side. We're in the engine bay area now. On the driver's side, you're going to have your coolant reservoir container. Your hose for your overflow is hooked to the side of the container. You want to unhook all three mounts. Just pulling the hose out. Your three mounts, one down the bottom, one in the middle, and one at the top. Now we need to remove our coolant reservoir from our radiator support on the top. It is held on by 4 8mm bolts. Once you remove those bolts, lift straight up. Unclip your hose from the top part of your radiator shroud. On your reservoir, you have a lower radiator hose that clips to your fan shroud. You need to remove that and swing that whole thing off and put it off to the side. On the driver's side of the vehicle on the top, your fan shroud has an 8mm bolt. You need to remove that. Right next to your bolt, you're going to have two fasteners. You need to remove those. You can use a tool like this, just an interior trim tool. One right next to it. Just beyond that, you're going to have another 8mm bolt. You need to remove that. Just to the left of that bolt, you have another clip. Just to the left of that, one more. You need to remove your hose from your radiator. Fluid might come out of this, that's fine. And put that off to the side. Then just below your upper radiator hose, there's an 8mm bolt for your shroud. You need to remove that. On the passenger side of your fan shroud, you have an electric fan that has a connector. You need to unplug the connector, push the tab down, pull straight up. You need to release the harness from the fan by just pulling straight out. Then right below that, there's another clip. You need to remove that. Now we're going to remove this piece of plastic by pulling straight up and out, put it off to the side. Now you can remove your radiator fan shroud. just by pulling straight up. And out. Your fan blade is mounted to your clutch fan by 4 10mm bolts. You need to remove those. Now if you spin your fan, once you remove all 4 bolts, pull straight towards you with your fan. And that's your fan blade. Before you install your fan blade, you want to clean your surface where it mounts to your clutch fan. You can just use a wire brush. Here's a tech tip for you. Because it's so hard to see these holes when it's mounted in the vehicle, you can make a mark on the outside lining up with your bolt holes. That way you can see them when it's installed into the vehicle. Lower down your radiator shroud, install 1 bolt, and leave it a little loose. Spin the fan, and line up your second hole. And leave that one loose. Line up your third hole, install your bolt, leave that one loose, and install your 4th bolt. Now you can tighten down all 4 of your bolts. You want to torque all 4 of these bolts down to 84 inch-pounds. Now we're going to reinstall our fan shroud. Now we can install our top radiator fan bolts. Now the bottom side of your radiator fan shroud, you have 2 bolts, 1 on each side. You want to install those. Then you want to torque that down to 71 inch-pounds. Now just below your top radiator hose, tighten that 8mm bolt. Torque that down to 71 inch-pounds. Now over to our center one. We're going to torque this down to 71 inch-pounds. Now we're at the top right of your radiator fan shroud. You need to tighten that bolt. And torque it down to 71 inch-pounds. Now we can install our top bezel. Install our fasteners. Now we can reinstall our coolant reservoir. Tighten down our bolts. Those 4 bolts get torqued down to 71 inch-pounds. Now we can secure our coolant reservoir hose onto our connectors. Now we can install our coolant reservoir hose onto the top part of our radiator. And secure the clamp. Now we're going to install our electric fan connector. Wait for the click. And secure the wiring harness to the fan. Your inner fan shroud has 2 tabs, 1 on each side. These 2 tabs get installed in these 2 holes of your fan shroud. Once you line up your two pieces, push straight up. Do the same for the other side. Then you have 4 clips right alongside the bottom here and at the bottom, and on the other side you want to just push your fan shroud in and lock them in. Now do the same for the remaining 2. On the passenger side of the fan, you're going to have a hose. That hose gets clipped into this clip, like that. Now right below in the middle you have another hose. You want to clip that into its holder. Then you have another tab up here. You need to secure your hose into that tab. At the very bottom of your radiator shroud, right in the middle, you have your 8mm bolt. You need to install that and tighten it down. You want to torque that bolt to 71 inch-pounds. Now we can reinstall our shield that goes underneath the front of our vehicle and install our bolts. Now you can tighten them all down. You want to torque all these bolts down to 35 foot-pounds.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.